Hey everyone, I think we're live. Give me one moment. Yep, looks good. Hey everyone, welcome to PGN Live. This is a little bit of an earlier stream today than expected, but we might go on later at a more favorable time at approximately 4 p.m. Pacific. But for now, if you are awake, if you're not in work or in school, I guess depending where you are in the world, it could be evening. But if you're up and at it, you're welcome to be here. Do some video game talk, random talk, a little bit of a Q&A. Even though I'm not anticipating a lot of people to show up right now because it is earlier in the morning. I mean, on the West Coast it is 10:24 a.m., so we'll see how many folks show up. But regardless, the gift card giveaway is still in effect, as it will be, as it is on every stream, as long as we hit that Nintendo $64 super chat goal or sub goal, we're good. So I'll give a moment for more people to show up. But how are you all doing so far? Any weekend plans? You know, I was meaning to watch Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2 last night. I had started it, and I paused it, and then we never got around to watching it. So, no spoilers in the chat, just in case. But that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Same with Alien Earth. I've only watched the first episode. I had the intention of watching episode 2, but I didn't catch up on that yet, or Invincible Season 3 yet. So I've got some things that I'm looking forward to this weekend. But how are you all doing? I have been playing some Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Star-Crossed World, and it's really fun. I think if you're new to the game, it's definitely worth hopping in now. Welcome, Pokemon Fan 34. I don't know, convenient timing, I guess. Good thing is, if you are watching on a smartphone, I guess you could take that smartphone anywhere. Just prop it up off to the side somewhere. Ooh, a little bit of Mario hair floating around. How are you doing today, Pokemon fan? What's up, Crazy Scoth? How are you doing today? Good seeing some familiar faces pop up in the chat. Pokemon Fan 34, how did you get this crown with a number 1 next to your name? That's pretty cool. Crazy Scoth, you've got a number 2 and a crown next to your name. And you both have experience points. 75 XP for Pokemon, and Crazy Scoth with a 25 XP. Is this from super chatting, subscribing, comments typed in the chat today? Oh, it's neat. Crazy Scoth, you're still at work, looking to leave in 30 minutes. Oh, good. That's a nice end to the day. Well, depending on what time you're at right now, I guess you could be finishing work at 11 a.m. Pacific here if you're on the West Coast, or, I mean, it could be 1 p.m., it could be 2 p.m., wherever you're at by the time you finish. But good. I hope whatever time it is for you, the rest of the day is nice and that you have a cool weekend, Crazy Scoth. Pokemon Fan 34, it's a new YouTube thing. Yeah, I don't exactly get all of it. points for chatting, leveling up. That's cool. I guess it does it refresh per stream or mm, per video. Super chats level you up too. It's Eastern, so it'll be 2 p.m. for you, Crazy Scott. Nice. Hey, you've got plenty of day left. Hopefully you're not like tired, just coming off of a 9-hour shift or something. Well, if you are, maybe a little nap or something like that, but you can have a good weekend. College football this weekend, yeah. Points reset per stream. Okay, that makes sense. Well, that's pretty cool. I guess it's a bot's dream to become number one. Although that's a good way to get kicked off of a stream too. You worked 10 hours yesterday. Yeah, that's a pretty good shift. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty well, thank you. I played some Kirby and the Forgotten Land DLC last night. Well, yeah, last night and the Thursday night. No, Wednesday night. Yeah. Wednesday night I first played it. I played a little bit more Thursday night. And I'll play more of it this weekend. But it looks nice. The game didn't get like this massive graphical overhaul, but I guess it didn't need to. It already was a good looking game. But visually, it is improved. Resolution's a little bit more crisp. Frame rate's a little bit more smooth. Enemies in the background are appearing less jittery. Although that added a certain level of charm that wasn't impactful of the experience. So I never minded that. But the new blues that travel throughout the land are quite pretty. How do I like the Kirby DLC? Good. Like so far, I've only played a couple of stages to feel the impact, but it was nice. How are you enjoying it so far, Pokemon fans? Sonic64, hey there, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, we're still pretty early on. No particular discussion point today. It's a little bit random, just to say, hey, what's up? We've got PAX West going on this weekend. That's going to be cool. There are several people that I know from the gaming sphere that are there already, or that will be landing soon, I guess, and it should be a good time. I probably would have had a great time if I went. In part playing the games that I haven't played yet, like Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on Nintendo Switch 2, Borderlands 4, Elden Ring. That would be all fun and well. But hanging out with the buddies, that you've been friends with online for the last few years, some odd months in some cases maybe. That would make for the more fun experience, unique setting. But that's okay. I hope they all have a great time. I'm looking forward to their content. Hopefully they've got some fun pictures, videos, some cool interactions. I'm sure they'll share some bits of their stories together. It's going to be neat. You love it. Started playing it last night. That's very cool. Prime is there. Yup. Game Bird, Stash, N64, Josh. Yep. That's pretty cool. I'm happy for all of them. What are you all planning on doing this weekend? Any Favlam? Yes. Yep, he's also there. Anyone have any gaming plans, relaxing plans, gonna watch a movie or anything? Last weekend, I did a double dose of movies. Hey, Joycey J. Hey, Paul, driving, so I'll listen in the background. Very good. I hope this gives you some interesting, engaging background fun. Depending on how many people are here for this live stream, it could go pretty wild right now, Or it could be a little bit calm. There's no designated topic today. The consistent thing is the $10 eShop gift card giveaway and the fact that we will be talking video games. But other than that, not a particular game that released or video game sales, etc. But we could touch on anything, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, explore that a little bit more. Joyce, I know you can't type right now, but have you picked up the Kirby and the Forgotten Land Star-Crossed Worlds DLC or not? And for that matter, I guess when you can type, have you played the original? I don't remember for sure. Brian C., welcome. J. Biggs, Mr. NY for life, welcome. What's up, Paul? I am working from home today. Well, hardly working, and now that you are on, work is completely optional. Good to know, what your priorities are in life. You've got, work, and then you've got, kind of work when you're at home, and then you've got, live streaming, which takes up the priorities in life. It's like a pyramid, Work is at the top in some ways. It gives you money. Working from home, that's a little bit of a base. You're more reliant on your surroundings. And then you've got the real base, which is PGN Live, because that's fun. And it's fun to just talk gaming talk, and yeah, that doesn't pay the bills, but keeps your mind entertained. Pokemon fan, you're going to be watching fantasy football, or doing fantasy football with your dad. That's cool. Let's see, what else we got in here. At a red light, Kirby isn't my jam. I am considering Air Riders. Okay. Well, if Kirby's not your jam, I guess I wouldn't say, oh, but you're going to love, Forgotten Land. But I'd say if you ever got the opportunity to buy the game at a discount, I think it's worth the full $60, for instance. But if you ever got the opportunity to buy it for half off, I think the risk reward would be worth it. That, hey, for $30, unless if you just really dislike the character or platforming, semi-adventure-ish, action-based gameplay, then it might not be for you. But if you ever get it for $30, I think you would like it enough, as long as you enjoy the genre enough. If you like 3D Mario, and 3D Mario is worth $60 for you, I think Kirby would be worth $30 for you. Unless if you just really dislike the character. Anyways, kind of a recommendation, I guess. Crazy Scott, gaming live streams work. That's pretty accurate. Gaming is the ultimate fun because it gives you a sense of audio delight, visual delight, tactile control, responsiveness. You've got rumble, you've got story, entertainment, skill, a lot going on. But sometimes you just want a little bit of a passive activity, but that passive activity isn't TV or a movie or music. It is a podcast or a live stream because it's gaming centered. In this case, this is pretty much a gaming channel. So you want to talk and hear about gaming stuff without necessarily gaming, which we've discussed on this channel before. You could be playing a game right now. Why listen to talking about gaming when you could be playing gaming? Sometimes it's just that passive fun, enjoyment, the sense of community building too. Even if you're just reading the chat or listening to me and not typing, there's still fun to be had. It's just a different type of fun. Brian sees at work, so I likely will be listening. Yeah. Pokemon Fan 34, talk to Nintendo, Paul Gale, about adding Pokemon Coliseum or Paul Gale of Darkness next month. LOL, thanks. They're coming. I don't know when, but they're definitely coming, Sooner or later, they're both announced. It's just a matter of time. J Biggs. If remote work completely goes away for everyone, remember, I'm the one that ruined it for everyone. uh, it's your fault, J Biggs. My company just announced on Monday that WFH is being discontinued in January. No more work from home for you? Sonic 64. What's your main, or who are your mains for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? You've got Sonic, Mario, and Kirby. That's a pretty cool trio. Let me rewind and tell you my mains from each Smash Bros. Entry. Original Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 64. I want to say that Samus Aran was my main. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, it was definitely Roy. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it was Solid Snake. And then for the last two entries, both Super Smash Bros. For Wii U / 3DS and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's been Bowser. Yeah. Samus, Roy, Snake, Bowser. It would take me a little bit of time to get my Snake skills up to snuff, but I don't know if I was more dominant with Snake in Brawl than I am with Bowser these days. Not to say I'm like fantastic with anybody, but just when I got really good with Snake, I was really good. Same with Roy. I mean, Roy was my boy in Melee. I'm always pretty good with Samus. So in each entry, I do like playing as her quite a bit. In Ultimate, I'd say I'm pretty good with like Ryu and Ken. Still Samus. Alright with Snake these days. Alright with Roy these days. But yeah, Bowser just occupies so much of my gameplay time that really he's the one who I've fine-tuned. Trying to decide on what to play today. Donkey Kong, Cyberpunk, Doom 3, or the second Metro 2033 game that came to Switch. Forget what it was called. Have you beaten Donkey Kong Bonanza? J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. That's a good decision right there between those 3 games, or 4 games, I guess. Brian C., you picked up Potion Permit last night. Crazy Scoth, says they're antisocial. Your crown is gone. Yeah, who's got the crown now? J Biggs, Mr. NY for life has got the crown now. Yep, I take full advantage, so they said everyone go back to work always. No more work from home. Who anyone? Your mains, Crazy Scott. Link, Roy, Link, and Link. All right. Matthew, Sally, greetings. Welcome. J Biggs, you didn't play or get Smash for Switch, but your old mains were Pikachu, Spam Thunderbolt. Yeah, that was a popular one in the OG, and Luigi. Cool. Have any of you watched any movies lately? Last weekend I did a double dose. I did the new Naked Gun, which was pretty funny. It was pretty good. And Freakier Friday. The Naked Gun definitely felt like a proper continuation of the old Leslie Nielsen ones. So it was good. It's that well written, stupid, funny, you know, and I liked it. Freakier Friday was actually really cute. It's been so long that probably I would have benefited if I watching Freaky Friday, because it's like 23 years old, to be more up on the references and stuff like that. My wife was like, oh, that's that person. Oh, that's the t-shirt that they wore there. Like, I didn't catch those little things. So for me, I mostly watched it as a new standalone film, but it was cool. No, you did not beat Donkey Kong yet, and you're at the end of the bird level, you think. Okay. All right. You could probably chip away at some DK. Egomaniac 87, yo, what's up? Michael Gutmann, hey, welcome. Crazy Scott, what's your favorite scary movie? I'd have to look at a list of all the scary movies that I have seen over the years because after a while, individual releases kind of blend together as a franchise. Like I've always enjoyed the Nightmare on Elm Street films, but I couldn't tell you which movie starring Freddy Krueger is my favorite of them, you know? Uh the Halloween movies are good, but once again, apart from maybe like Halloween H2O, and even that one, it's a little bit tough to distinguish. I have a hard time distinguishing each Halloween film, one from the other. So I don't know if I have a favorite necessarily. Going on the comedy route, though, I guess since there are fewer scary movie parody movies, I have a better sense of remembering Scary Movie 1, 2, and 3 kind of rather distinctly. Now, those aren't scary movies, they're just called Scary Movie as the franchise, but those are funny. Those are really good. Uh, I'm looking forward to, what is it, Scary Movie 6? With the Wayans brothers back in charge? Yeah, I don't have a particular favorite scary movie of all time off the top of my head. Old school Chucky was pretty fun, funny. Old school Leprechaun, pretty fun. Mm, yeah. Then there are a couple of ones that, oh, I don't even know the names of them because it's been so long ago. But when I used to work at a movie theater back in the day, like 2001 to 2002, somewhere in that time, there were several scary movies that came out, and I used to do something that was like, ugh, not the best idea, but a total trip. We had the opportunity to see movies early, see movies for free, late, early, like whenever. Anytime theater like already closed, kind of, you could still watch, you know. So I would take advantage of the amount of movies that I could see, and I was always getting movies for my mom and dad to come in as guests and just watch like all the time, see as many movies as y'all want. But what I would do is when a scary movie would come out, I would go to the theater, pick a screening, pick a showing where there were no tickets sold, which seems like a big waste of money for the theater to be operating a whole film out of obligation purposes, using all that electricity, all that air conditioning to cool off that big old room for no one in the auditorium. But I would pick a scary movie, and like I don't know what the names of them were because it's so long ago, but horror movies between 2001 and 2002, kind of in those 2 years. And I would go in the theater, smack dab in the middle from left to right, smack dab in the middle from back to front, and just sit there. And here I am, like, 18, 19 years old, and just, it's not real. It's not real. There is no one behind you. There is no monster, there is no demon, there is no witch, there is no doll coming to life, there is no beast. But dang, would that trip you out. And it was pretty scary. I ended up walking out the theater later on. Oh, yeah. Okay, come on. Fists clenched. I'm ready for some creep to jump out of the shadows and, knock him out or something. Okay, some kind of witch. Oh, some shadow gonna pop from the ceiling and try to grab me and pull me into, the depths of hell or something. Like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna mess you up. Don't mess with me. It kind of messes with you when you're watching like that. It's pretty funny. If I didn't say hi earlier, Nintendo's All Stars, hi there. J Biggs, okay, yeah, it's Metro 2033 Last Light, cool. We hope they bring the third Metro 33 to Nintendo Switch too. Cool. Okay, I think that makes me caught up to chat. Crazy Scott, you asked a good question though. What's your favorite scary movie? Hmm. There have also been some ones that I've seen over the last several years. Uh, what was it? The Barbarian was one of them that was pretty good. Smile was all right. This one's not necessarily a horror film, but I think it's called Happy Death Day. I like um, the reboot nature of stuff like Groundhog Day. So Happy Death Day was cool because it was reliving the day over and over again, like Groundhog Day, which, like I said, is a concept that I like. I think that's cool. I like time travel in general, so anything to deal with that is kind of a fun hook. The right answer to the question is always Scream, even if it isn't your favorite. Yes, Scream is good. I don't know if I've watched all of them. Yeah, you remember Happy Death Day had a groundhog feel to it. Yeah, definitely. I think there was a Happy Death Day 2. If there is, I'm pretty sure I've watched it. Hmm. Kind of forgot. I think I watched it. There was a sequel of it too. Too. Yeah. Hopefully they finally make a Short Circuit 3. Gotta be reminded. Oh. 2 came out a while ago. Maybe. I mean, what is it? Spaceballs is getting a sequel. So they're coming out with movies, sequels, etc. to films from, 20, 30, 40 years ago all the time. Yeah. So I can see it happening. She goes to an alternate timeline. Interesting. Johnny Five is still alive. Okay, from Short Circuit. Boo Mini. Hey everyone. Hey Boo Mini. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Boo Mini, you had a green name last time, right? Or a crown next to your name? Speaking of crown, who has that crown now? It's going back and forth. Pokemon Fan 34 had it, the number 1. Crazy Scott had the 2. Then Pokemon Fan got the 2. J-Biggs got the 1. Crazy Scott got the 3. It's like this race. Let's see. Now, Tigerasis has the 1. Tigerasis, I don't see you in the chat. Are you here? Oh. Is Brian C? Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's you, Brian C. Uh-huh. It does have a B next to your name, after all. Interesting how it all is laid out there. That's kind of funny. Yep. Yeah, Boom Mini, you think you had the crown? Okay. The retrospective guy. They better not touch Back to the Future. Oh boy, that's a classic. I love Back to the Future. That's such a fun franchise. Yeah, good question. Would they? What would Hollywood do these days to Back to the Future with the IP? Would they recreate the original, kind of without a real need to, in the same setting in the 80s and just remake the film for some reason? Why? Would they use the original as a base and just stick with the same characters but reboot the characters and act as though those events never happened, and then just boom, plop it into 2027 and then go back to the early 2000s, the 80s, skip forward like 50 years, go back to dinosaur time, go back to like, well, in the future, like a couple hundred years from now. Like, would that be something that they would do? Or would they do something like, it's been X amount of years, this is the future that I'm living in, the characters have aged up, and it's now a continuation, kind of like Ghostbusters, right? Where, okay, it's some of these characters, kids, nephews, nieces, some fans of this old study, and in this case, Back to the Future, it's the kids, grandkids, whatever, and then something happens, whether it's somebody from the future coming back, and then now it brings them into the future, and then a new back in a timeline, and kind of like a Full House. If you guys all watched Fuller House, they had scenes where they sort of merged the past and the present, or Girl Meets World sort of did that, where they show Corey and Topanga in this spot now compared to Corey and Topanga in this same spot back in Boy Meets World from the late 90s. And then here you've got Back to the Future, incorporating characters from the same timeline, but their grandkids or kids or whatever, and then interacting with these classic scenes and having a new movie. So I guess there's a few different routes to take. Is any of it necessary? I mean, Hollywood deems everything necessary. Those films stand alone, though. Like they're really good on their own. The concept is definitely intriguing to consistently be going back and forth with time. But do you use the name Back to the Future, or do you just create your own thing and kind of just borrow elements from it in spiritual success, in spiritual continuation, not literal? The retrospective guide. Third one is okay. 1 and 2 are goated. Yeah. Joyce J just landed. Back to the Future is my jam. Oh yeah. Love it. I think there's a clause in the Back to the Future contract that says the movies can't be remade or rebooted. Oh. That's very interesting. Huh. Maybe a parody film is made that undoes the clause. We must go back to undo the clause made of the movie in a fourth wall kind of way, so that we could have continuous sequels in Hollywood. That sounds like a Mad TV sketch or a Saturday Night Live sketch. I could kind of see that. That's funny. Yeah, you look at Jurassic Park, original trilogy, and now there are 7 movies in the Jurassic, timeline of films. The reboot, since then, we've gotten 4. I don't know where they're going to go next. I like dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs interacting with humans on the big screen. Fights are cool. Going through cities is cool. Seeing them in their natural habitat is pretty sweet. You get some human interaction on there, and put some decent fear and cause, and like you gotta find Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World movie, but Where do they go next? Curious. You loved Back to the Future 3. Doc and Clara are relationship goals. Hopefully the Zelda movie gets to start filming soon. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Zelda movie. Oh my gosh. Here's where I'm at. I don't want. This is tough. We're about 2.5 months away, probably, from when filming starts. I'm gonna guess like mid-November, right? Seems fairly reasonable. It's gonna film from November 2025 through April 2026, largely in New Zealand. Filming in New Zealand means we're probably going to get spoiled less than them filming in New York, like Spider-Man, for instance, or an Avengers movie. There you will see all sorts of spoilers, people with cameras, iPhones, etc. Joycey J, see you in a moment. Robbie Rains, hi. In New Zealand, if they're filming primarily out in big open fields, a little bit further out into the country to get big swooping shots, finding natural forests that look cool, getting permits and all that to add junk into the forest to make it look more Kokiri forest like and stuff. You know, building up these Hyrule Castle Temple of Time things, all that kind of stuff. If you're 45 miles out, yeah, you're going to have a little bit more control over not having folks with drones constantly taking pictures and fans with smartphones zooming in from their, apartment building or what have you in like New York or Chicago or something like that if you're filming. Of course, inside studio shots, a little bit further protected. So I'm not saying that we won't get leaks from Zelda, but I imagine that they won't be as great as leaks that we got from like, Superman, for instance, or like Spider-Man coming up that I'm mentioning. And that's a good thing overall because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to be surprised and see the trailer and the commercials and see the costume design. I want to check out this wardrobe stuff and the actors and actresses in their gear with the props, with the sword, with the shield. Any resemblance of Kakariko Village or whatever for the first time, in a proper commercial trailer, promotional art that Nintendo or Sony puts up. That being said, I'm really freaking excited and I want to see something so bad that I wouldn't mind a picture leaking of Link and just seeing the little details, like what shade of green do they use for him? Who cares? I care. I want to see what shade of green. Or are they going with blue? I want to see the quality of the Master Sword, of the Hylian Shield, So we'll see. But yeah, I'm a little bit debating inside of what do I want to see too early or not. I think the safer part of me says, nah, don't get spoiled in November. Wait for them to be ready. Post-production seems about 1.5 years, so that seems right. Yeah. I mean, the movie is scheduled for 2027. Yeah, they'll be editing away. They'll be doing a lot of audio correction, camera work, reshoot opportunity time, getting in visual effects, practical effects, etc., stunt work, what have you, for several months. Then they'll have a year to, be fine tuning things. You know how cool it's going to be when they have the press tour, and here we will be in early 2027, and we'll have the actors, on Jimmy Kimmel, on Jimmy Fallon, Entertainment Tonight, Extra, all that. Hopefully, they're actual Zelda fans with some knowledge of the franchise existing. They could speak to the Zelda fans out there and discuss some Nintendo lore. Talk about how much they enjoyed the games on Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, playing the games to get inspiration of the characters. Better yet, if they're longtime fans, we know Wes Ball is. CGI must be crazy then. Yeah, it's only going to get better. And I think Wes Ball is going to have a really good balance of practical effects. He said that he envisioned something like a live action Studio Ghibli film. I hope they let you in the red carpet premiere in 2027. I hope so too. And I was fortunate enough to be in the red carpet premiere of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I had an amazing time for the red carpet of the movie and of the after party. Unforgettable, really. But, yeah, Zelda movie? Oof. I hope Oppo Suits or Levi or somebody makes a head-to-toe The Legend of Zelda themed suit so I could buy it, because I would wear the heck out of that for this event, Definitely. If you all in chat got to pick a base for the Zelda movie to be made off of, what would you pick? I mean like a particular game. Let's say you had to. Even if your answer is complete original story that only brings characters from the past, but no story elements, completely fresh. If you had to pick a story to use as the base, what would it be? I've seen the new Planet of the Apes by Wes Ball. Yeah, same here. And if the Zelda movie is like that, oh, are we in for a treat? Yes. I paid so close attention to Rise of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes last summer in middle of June, I want to say. And it was really good. I looked at these shots of the eagle flying, looking at these shots of the camera work going over this river, of the different apes hopping and jumping up, climbing up the mountain to get to the nest for the eggs. Some of the camera work of going around corners, details within the city, fight choreography, horseback, etc. You take that, you add some magic and mysticism, and you make it unmistakably Hyrule in how it looks, with Koroks and floating magic stuff over here and pixie dust over there, and dude, the whole thing could look really cool. Have a blend of anime-ish effects added on top of real grass to make the grass kind of scatter a little bit differently. Kind of like, in the recent Ninja Turtles movie, or the Puss in Boots movie, or Into the Spider-Verse. Add some kind of flavor like that. On the fire, yes, real fire, but some animated flames in it as well. I think we could be getting some of that Studio Ghibli ideas that he's got going for the film. Oh, I'm excited. Crazy Scott, the retrospective guy, Wink the Man 07, and Michael Gutmann all say Ocarina of Time. Yeah, that's mine too. I think it makes sense going with Ocarina of Time because you could have some flashback stuff with a young Link and a young Zelda, maybe just to show where they were, but have it primarily be the actors that they chose and shown off for, late teen, young adult Link and Zelda. But you could have Kokiri Forest, you could have Deku Tree, you could have them finding one another. The dungeons, the battles, the bosses. It's going to be such a cool thing to explore. They may not necessarily do a time travel thing yet, but they could just as well. And since there's likely going to be, a trilogy, that seems to be the goal, that would be really nice to have that happen. Something that I'm going to say something that one moment. Something that I think they will do is, since they have a pretty young actor for Link and Zelda, the younger you are, the more apparent your age going up is, 3 years later, 5 years later. If you're like 35, 47, 3 years later, 4 years later, you're not going to look all that different. You know what I mean? But if you're 16, 17, 21, 22, 3, 4 years later, you're going to look a little bit different. Film now your base movie. Film now some footage that you're not going to use for Zelda 1, but rather for Zelda 2, as this is what happened that we didn't get to see, so that by the time Zelda 2 comes out and they film the main movie Zelda 2, okay, it's understood that in the world a few years have gone by, and that's why this Zelda and Link look a little bit older, but they could cleverly say, remember that moment, or even travel back to themselves earlier or whatever, and they'll have the way they visibly looked then, which would be a little bit different, a little bit younger, and that would be kind of cool. I also wonder, for a potential second or third movie, could it be, the same actors, but not the same Zelda, not the same Link? They went so far back in time or so far into the future that it's a different Link, a different Zelda. It's just the same actors because they're reincarnated versions, or they are their predecessors. Since we have some new people watching, I'm going to go over, I noticed some more people hopped in, what this thing is down here. Every Nintendo $64 in Super Chats / subs equals an automatic $10 eShop gift card giveaway that will be given to the chat. If there are 12 people watching and 12 people help make that Nintendo $64 Super Chat or sub count reach, and you all want to participate, you have a 1 in 12 shot of winning right back a $10 eShop gift card giveaway. I go live on stream to GameStop.com, type it in, eShop gift card, $10, unless if you choose that you want a PlayStation or an Xbox One or a Steam One or something like that, and then we roll it, and then somebody gets it. Kind of separate from that, normally, if we hit $128, that's what it takes to give out a $20 eShop gift card. Right now, I have a separate challenge that if it hits $100, I'm going to give out a $20 eShop gift card. So uh, to get to that 20, which would be two different 10s, so two different people winning a 10, it would be 100 to get to that goal instead of 128. But that first goal remains 64 in super chats or in subs, whether you're subbing yourself or donating a sub to someone else. So just want to let that be known. Once in a while I share that as the stream goes by so that new people who joined who weren't here earlier to hear how this thing works get to kind of know. But yeah. Are you all looking forward to the Zelda movie more or the Mario movie sequel more? Oh, before you answer that question, okay, alternatively, would you rather, because it looks like the chat kind of voted for Ocarina of Time as the base if you had to pick, would you rather Ocarina of Time as the base of the movie or something completely original? Completely original, meaning, okay, it's got Zelda, Link, Ganondorf, Sheik, and that's about it. Go. Yeah, it'll use Hyrule and Kokiri lore, maybe, and Kakariko Village, Gerudo Valley, Death Mountain, Lake Hylia, that kind of stuff, but not necessarily anything deliberate from a past game. Would you rather a nod to Ocarina of Time, kind of following that formula-ish, or something totally originally put together? Crazy Scoth, Zelda movie. Egomaniac 87, Mario LOL. I want to trust the live action, or won't trust the live action till after you watch it. Just not sold on the live action going well. Interesting. Let's see. We are putting the poll in there. We're 1-1 so far. Zelda's taking the lead. So that's 2-1 favoring Zelda. We'll see how this turns out. To Egomaniac 87, what I really want is a poster of Zelda. I just want to see the creative vision behind Wes Ball's Zelda. Something like Link standing firmly on a little rock boulder on top of the grass, on top of the hills, with some trees off to the side, Death Mountain in the far corner, some type of ranch sort of thing off to the right, and in the distance, yet not as far as Death Mountain, Hyrule Castle or Temple of Time, and a little bit of water going in between, small river, a bridge, blue sky, the legend of Zelda, and Link with his back to us, shield in one hand, sword down at the other, looking on, fully costumed up. Give me that poster. I want to see it. I want to see it so bad. Because then that'll show me a little bit of the size, a little bit of the scope, a little bit of how accurate they are making it look. That's going to be pretty big. Oh, so excited. I am more of a Mario fan, so You chose Mario J. Biggs. I would like an original story for the Zelda movie that takes from the different games, all right? The poll's kind of close. It's 57 Zelda to 43 Mario. As long as Urbosa is in it, played by Lash Legend. Lash Legend. And Real Howard? She looks familiar. Do I know her as a different name? She looks familiar. But okay. Yeah, from NXT. I'm looking at different pictures and different interactions and stuff like that. Okay, that's not a bad pick for Urbosa. She's pretty tall. I think it says 6 foot. Yeah, 6 feet tall. 28, so she's enough older than our Link and our Zelda for the movie. 174 pounds. Pretty muscular, fit, athletic shape. She's got the long hair. Has the physical attributes. Okay, yeah, that's not a bad choice. That's a good choice. I mean, she's a good choice for Urbosa. But they have so much to choose from, you know? So many different Zelda games. Like, Urbosa's not in every Zelda game. Tingle's not in all of them. Gorons don't appear in general in every Zelda title. Let's see. I think it could be great. Just going to need Game of Thrones / Lord of the Rings production levels with costuming and special effects. Yeah. Don't skimp out on the budget, please. Use the best cameras. Get the best quality CG folks on board. Get the top level costume designers. Get as many extras as you need for big action scenes. Safely use as many pyrotechnics as needed. Have good fight choreographers. Wes Ball, you should hire me to assist with the fight choreography and or to train Link, Zelda, the actor, the actress, anybody else that would be doing any fighting to get the most dynamic looking fight choreography possible. I would be very happy to help out. Jade Cargill could be Urbosa. Let me look at this. Jade Cargill. Oh, okay, so yeah, I recognize her more. Yeah, she's another good choice. I think so. 5'10", 160 pounds, 33 years old. She's a little bit older than Lash Legend, a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter weight. Yeah, but they both have that physique, good muscles. I mean, hair, anybody could have a wig, but yeah, they both have long hair, seemingly so. Sorry, y'all. Back at work. Come on, Joycey. This is Zelda talk here. We moved on to Zelda talk. Can't do Zelda talk at the moment. Jeez Louise. We had a good little discussion on what I want from the poster of the movie, Joycey. I know that is killing you missing the Zelda talk. LOL, it's all good. I'll rewatch. Yeah. From this point, rewinding like 10 minutes or so is probably the Zelda talk section. You know, we're just going off. Okay, I think the poll's about done. Not everybody voted, but we had a good amount of people vote. And unless if we have an extension to the stream, we'll also probably be ending the stream in a minute or two as well. But with the poll ending, looks like Zelda wins at 62% to 38%. I'm looking forward to both. I know the Mario movie sequel is going to be good because the first Mario movie was good. So I'm not doubting Super Mario World to be anything less than awesome. You know, presumably we're going to have all the same characters. So we got Chris Pratt coming back, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, maybe Seth Rogen, hopefully Charles Martinet, Keegan-Michael Key. You know, hopefully everybody is back. Are they going to add anybody else as a big surprise? Wario and Waluigi, Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey, something like that, something unexpected, you know? We'll see. The Zelda movie. I know it's going to be good because Nintendo is paying 51% of it. They're putting up that much money. That means they want to have a certain amount of control. They want to see to it that it's done well. They care about it. We know that Mr. Miyamoto is going to be involved. That's his baby. There's going to be integrity behind it. We know that Wes Ball is a big The Legend of Zelda fan and is a good director and has directed good big set action movies in the past and would bring extra care because, you know, going back a decade even, has expressed that he would like to create a Zelda movie one day. This has got the right recipe behind it to tell me it's going to be a good movie. How are the writers on board? How are all the other actors? We'll find out. But if everybody did their job well, and so far I've got the faith that it is going well, I don't think we have too much to worry about. Alrighty. If there's a last question, go for it. Otherwise, we'll probably end the stream in 1 minute. That's the Nintendo 64 minute mark right there. Super chats, subs, those extend the stream. Otherwise, we had a good time this morning. This was fun. Whether you listened in your car, at home, in the shower, however it was, you know, I appreciate your time being here today. Hope you had a good time. We talked a bit about PAX West, what we're watching on TV, different movies, shows. We got into a nice Zelda movie discussion. That was entertaining. And yeah, I think Garp from the One Piece live action would be a good Zelda's father. Let's see. I do try to read all of the comments. So J Biggs, I'm going to type Garp from One Piece live action to see who you're talking about. All right. Yeah, that's a good kingly look for Zelda's father. I could see it. Cool. Okay. Well, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I might be back on to, oh, snap, right out of, woo! Joycey J, yay Zelda stuff. Big thank you, Joycey. And just like that, Joycey J made the stream continue longer past the Nintendo 64 minute mark, because otherwise that's how long these intended streams kind of are for. But you can't stop. You can't stop now. Let's see. What color do we do for Joycey J? Joycey, do you have a preference? Because you are the top donor of the stream, and you also helped get towards that Nintendo $64 goal for somebody to win a $10 eShop card. So you could all thank Joycey J for contributing to that, and you might be the recipient of the gift card, Joycey, in which your $10 went right back to you. But somebody else might get it, in which case, hey, you tell Joycey thank you. Joycey J now #1 crown. Joycey J, do you got a favorite color? Gold? Maybe gold for the Triforce? Would you like that? Because you get a special shout out. You get a special Microsoft Paint title right here. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. And if you want a different color, Joycey, you let me know. Otherwise, it's going to look like this. Joycey J, boom, $10. I'm going to make it bold. It's going to look pretty sweet. Check this out. Ah, nice. You know what? I'm going to use gold down here too. Favorite color is either hot pink or red. You know what? I'll make it hot. I don't have hot pink. Oh, I can make hot pink. You know what? I'll make it hot pink. Here, let's see. How do we do this? Is this hot pink? Yeah, that's hot pink. Ooh, that looks good. Alrighty. This looks good. Goal is at 10 out of I'll just put 64 since that makes it go down. Okay, and then Joycey, we're gonna change this. We're gonna give you that hot pink. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it the right way. Boom. Doesn't that look good? Look at that. Thank you so much, Joycey. I appreciate it. Your $10 contribution definitely helps out the channel. It helps with my daily shorts. The countdown series. Today was Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I've got another one cooking tomorrow. Helps with the live streams. Helps with everything. And it helps with somebody maybe getting an eShop card. So I'm really appreciative, Joycey. I know that the setup looks kind of a little janky here, a little janky. You know, a little Microsoft Paint action. But I'm grateful. That's real. There's no jank in that. So the stream is now longer. Thanks to you too. Lily Young, hi peeps, hi there. Even your work notes are all in hot pink, nice. Lily Young, you're walking home from school. Well, walk safe. I hope it's not too hot outside. Let's see, it's 11:32 for me. I was outside earlier, like an hour and a half ago, catching the mail, doing some chores. Not too hot. I mean, everyone's different. But enjoy your walk home, Lily. Michael Gutmann. Chilling, watching the Thunderbolts since it came to Disney Plus. Oh yeah, Thunderbolts was pretty good. I liked it. Let's see. This will kind of be for Joycey. This is for everybody since we were talking about Zelda earlier, but I want to know, do you all want the actors for Zelda and Link to have their hair dyed or be seemingly what their natural hair colors are, being kind of more brown than blonde? Not that Link and Zelda only have blonde hair. That's not true. But what do you want their hair color to be in the movie? For our male protagonist, Benjamin, definitely more brown than blonde. In fact, I think he just is a brunette. Bo, however, a little bit lighter of a brown. Zelda's hair seems to fluctuate a little bit more, whereas Link is typically blonde. I mean, you've got SNES Pink. I know, Joycey, A Link to the Past is your favorite game. Would you like in the movie, Joycey, and everybody, everybody. It's just Joycey gave that $10 super chat, so I'm catering this little bit of a topic to Joycey. That's just my extra thanks, kind of, But for everyone, how would you feel if in the movie Link is excuse me, Link is busting up pots or mixing potions, red, blue, yellow, green, boom, boom, and a little bit of a poof pops up in front of him, and then he looks up at the camera or the character, and his hair is pink, and it's a little bit of a nod, and he goes, or like, and it shakes it out, and it's back to his regular hair color of brown or temporary blonde if he had to dye it for the movie or whatever. Would that be cool? Would that be funny? Some kind of blonde look. I'm curious. Let's see. Amazing weather here in eastern Nebraska. I am so far. Last movie I saw was Infinity War. Okay. J Biggs talking to Michael Gutman. I'm glad the weather is nice today, Lily, for your walk home. Always more of a DC person over Marvel, J Biggs. I love both for different reasons. You should probably watch Endgame then, but after the movies went downhill. Egomaniac 87 diet. A dye or a wig, right? They've got super convincing wigs that if you don't want to have the actors dye it or they don't want to or something like that. Wig maybe. JG, why not hot pink? I was just joking about that hot pink. I don't know if you typed that right before or after, but I was coming up with a funny scenario of Link experimenting with some pots or magic or powder dust, some sort of it poofing up on him, or like a bokoblin or an octorok or somebody shoots at him, some clay or some acid or something, and it turns his hair pink for a moment before he washes it out, just as a little bit of a nod to, A Link to the Past. Like, oh, that'd be kind of funny. Hair dye isn't the healthiest, Joycey J. Yeah, so maybe not hair dye, but like the wig approach or something like that. I don't know. J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. I want Link to bust up pots and cut grass while saying, "Excuse me, princess." How deep will the lore go in this movie? They have got so much to pull from. I would just love it if Mr. Miyamoto was in the movie to be the person that says it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Or, not that role, but as an elderly man in the forest that Link walks by and you see the man just chopping wood or something like that, and he just looks over at Link, and Link kind of nods down. Or even like one of several people in Castletown, but you do see him for more than half a second, like, you know, a two seconds non-talking role. I just give me some Mr. Miyamoto in the movie, little cameo or small role of some sort. That's our Stan Lee, you know. He's our Stan Lee of Nintendo, of the video game industry, of Zelda. Everyone, and I mean everyone in Hollywood wears wigs. Joyce J. See, so yeah, this movie could very well have wigs for any of the actresses, you know. Definitely need some comedy references. I think the movie will have some funniness. Paul missed my messages about wigs. No, I didn't miss it. It takes my time. I take my time to get to it. Xavier Koto, no, you did not miss the giveaway. The giveaway almost did not happen because the giveaway is unlocked once we get Nintendo $64 worth of super chats. Then I give $10 of that right back to you all watching, in which you have a 1 in 11, 1 in 10, 1 in 20, whatever chance of getting it. Right now we're at $10 of that $64 goal. You can see how it's laid out here. Joycey helped contribute to that goal. And she also helped stretch out the stream to go past the 64-minute intended kind of total. The one before that, the one before the wig one, let me see. Hair dye isn't the healthiest. I saw that. Everyone wears the wigs in Hollywood. I saw that. Not big on kids dyeing their hair. Wigs have come a long way. I just say give them wigs. Oh, okay. If that's the one, yeah, I don't recall if I read it. Maybe I glanced over it, or maybe I missed it. But yeah, you don't need to dye it. Crazy Scott K, I gotta drive now. Thanks, Crazy Scott, for being here. Drive safe. Enjoy your weekend starting in 20 minutes or so, whenever you get home or whatever. Take it easy. Lily Young, I'm excited for the second Mario movie. Yeah, definitely. It can't be bad. It's just gonna be awesome. And I hope that it does another like 1.3 billion. I want it to break that other record. The Super Mario Brothers movie is the best-selling. Well, it was. Let me rewind that. The movie is the highest-grossing animated movie of 2023, and like the second or third highest-grossing animated movie of all time. It's only behind Frozen 2 and The Lion King remake. Because is the Lion King remake, is it CG? Yeah. Is it animated, therefore? Yes. Is it live action? No. Despite the intent to look live action, they didn't actually film a bunch of lions and hyena in Africa in planes to film this movie, you know? But they used real life cameras and green screen in a studio in which then they place things over. So is that purely animated? I mean, the camera work being not animated makes it not entirely, but still, was all CGI used to paint over and stuff? Yeah. So I guess it's still an animated movie. Right? It's kind of weird. The more you learn about it, the more you start to say, well, is it completely or not? Anyways, Mario did freaking well. 1.3 billion. You can't take away from that. Second highest grossing movie overall of 2023, only behind Barbie, which was live action. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting. I want the sequel to do better. And actors, no one in Hollywood wears their real hair, Joycey. It protects their real hair. Ariana Grande started losing her hair years ago because she had to dye it so much. Really? I didn't know that. Well, that's not good. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's sad for her. Hopefully she doesn't have to dye it anymore these days. Let me look at Ariana Grande today. Well, I guess I saw her recently in Wicked, right? I mean, kind of like a brownish blonde kind of combo. I don't know what her natural hair color is, though. Yeah. Wicked was good. That was a fun movie. Yeah, she was Glinda. Sean Black, good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome. Any other questions, chat? How's that poll doing? Oh, the longer I let it go, Zelda started to take over more. It's at 71% now. Even in a poll like this, though, when Zelda's like clearly winning, I'm sure it doesn't at all mean that someone voting for Zelda doesn't care about Mario. No, it just happens to mean they're looking forward to Zelda more. You know, Mario's going to be awesome, Zelda's going to be awesome. It's okay to like one more than the other or anticipate one more than the other. Just like Nintendo IP, you know? You could like Zelda more than Metroid, but it doesn't mean that you don't love Metroid. Let me check something here. I guess I'll end the poll. Yeah. That was a 30-minute poll. That was good. There you go. Okay. All right, everybody. Joycey, Metroid should be a series on HBO. Changed my mind. Seeing how Alien Earth is being handled, where it's, you know, a live action 4-part series and then another 4-part series to be a total of 8, telling a story. I think you could stretch out a Metroid movie and have it be like a high quality, high budget, beautiful looking, you know, top notch. Don't skimp out on anything with this one. 8 to 13 episode season over a film. Would that be the safer route to go? Or give Metroid the big budget theatrical opportunity to have it be, you know, this hour 55-minute blockbuster movie. I'm excited for the future of Nintendo, though. Like, I don't think that we are done with Zelda and Mario, and I'm not just talking like, oh yeah, well, it looks like Donkey Kong is coming too. No, I mean, give me Star Fox and either have a Star Fox anime as a series on Netflix or something like that, or a live action looking Star Fox but with super high quality Jim Henson puppeteered characters being the characters in the film. Like, have it be real steel, metal, plastic, all that junk for the R-Wings, CG for any plasma that comes out, any laser beam that comes out. But have the characters be this very advanced puppeteering. Even if it's people in suits for some of it, but it could be just enough of a visual distinction that it works. And with a different frames per second being added in for these effects versus these characters walking animations, it all could make a pretty cool looking movie. Yeah, a Star Fox sci-fi movie or a Star Fox animated series, or using that same puppeteer kind of idea from the movie into the series. But that works. Metroid works too. Metroid on HBO Max, like Joycey said, that'd be a good idea. Lily Young, Mario more for me, but I'm happy for both. I think I read that. J Biggs, my Nintendo IP hierarchy is Super Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. In that order, that's pretty good. I wish that Samus made it to an episode of Captain N back in the day. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Alright, we'll shoot for 4 more minutes. Joycey's very kind dono made the stream last another 26 minutes, which is pretty terrific. Any other super chat or dono will also help. Otherwise, we'll wait another 3. And if anyone has another topic to bring up or something like that, we could go for it. I have an idea. I think it's going to work. I think I'm going to experiment with this. You see this spot right here? Right here. It's kind of empty. So visually, for you watching, there's nothing cool to look at like right here. I don't know exactly how it'll turn out, but I'm going to experiment, and hopefully it's big enough. But I'm going to play with the settings so that in this section right here on the video, on the screen for me, I'm going to put a separate window. And that window will just be open to my Chrome browser. So if you have any requests like, can we watch this trailer together of this? Hey, Nintendo just dropped on X a new Hawlucha Pokemon Mega Evolution. Can we watch that? That'll be in this section right here. And it won't distract from the background or ruin, like, the poster's kind of cool to look at, or the Samus Aran statue's kind of cool to look at, you know? Yeah, and that's kind of an idea that I've got. I got a free bagel and cream cheese from the local bagel shop for being a student. That's cool. That's a nice little bonus. That's good. Dang, a bagel cream cheese sounds good. I might make that for lunch myself, since it's almost 12 o'clock. Thank you all for liking the stream, by the way. I noticed that the likes went up. That's pretty sweet to see. How many is it at now? 20. Wow. Yeah, it went up by a lot. No one's obligated, but if anybody wants to stretch out the stream, now's the time to do so. Otherwise, I would feel bad, and I would never do this intentionally. Someone drops a dono right at the end, and I'm like, bye, and then it comes on, and I'm like, I didn't even get to say thank you properly or put your name up properly. I would restart the stream, make a new one on, or make a designated video or a short or something like that, because uh, that's not cool in my opinion to like hear you accepted someone's hard-earned money and then you didn't even say thanks or you didn't put their name up to give some recognition. I wouldn't do that. But that's what I'm saying. If that doesn't happen in the next minute, that's the end of the stream. I'll be back on tonight for a bit with Joycey J though, and Mike Odyssey on the Nintopics podcast. N64 Josh is in Washington right now at PAX West, along with several other content creators. Thunderstash Gaming is there, Favlam is there, Gamebird Classic, Eric Moore, Nintendo Prime. So, I don't know if N64 Josh is going to join the podcast. Maybe, that would be kind of cool. It'd be a very different background, but we'll see. But at least it looks like it should be Joycey, Mike, and I. I'll probably be on that podcast from like the 5:30 to 6:30 time frame, sort of Pacific time. Maybe I'll live stream again. Should I live stream again today? Should I hop on one more time, like before that podcast starts? Maybe. Maybe. That could be fun. But alrighty. I think that's it for the stream. I think that's it for the subscriptions, donos. Joycey J, thank you. You are the top donor of the stream with $10. I appreciate it. One more time. Everyone else being here, thank you for being here. Good talk today. Cool conversation. Cool people. A pre-party podcast? Yeah. Paul's pre-party podcast. Paul's pre-party podcast. I like the sound of that. Cool. Sounds good. All right. That was fun. I'm probably going to go make some lunch. Maybe I'll do that bagel cream cheese like Lily Young. We'll see. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy. Enjoy some gaming today. Watch some Peacemaker if that's your jam. I'm gonna do it today since I meant to yesterday and didn't. Today I'll watch Peacemaker. Season 2, Episode 2. I'm stoked. Alright. JG. Peace up. I'm going to eat lunch too, Michael Gutmann. That's right. Michael Gutmann, see you. See you all. Hopefully someone doesn't join like right now. What's up, everybody? Oh, bye. Thanks a lot. Okay. I think that's it. Take it easy.